Hey, welcome. So if you ever felt like you're just, shouting into the vast emptiness of a search engine only to get a billion completely useless results back? Yeah, if that sounds familiar, you're in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to turn all that frustration into real skill. We're going to give you the tools to find precisely what you're looking for, right when you need it.
Oh man, we have all been there. You've got a paper due, you need some solid, high-quality sources, and what does Google give you? Well, pretty much everything except what you need. But here's the secret. The problem isn't usually the search engine. It's that we're not quite speaking its language yet. But don't worry, we are about to fix that right now. So here's our game plan. First, we'll learn the basics of speaking Google's language. Then, we're going to build out your basic search toolkit. After that, we'll get into mastering filters, level up with some pro tools, and finally, and this is a big one, we'll talk about the difference between just finding information and actually trusting it. Okay, first things first, let's get our mindset right. These aren't just little hacks to get your homework done faster. Seriously, learning to search effectively is a huge part of being a smart, capable digital citizen. It's a skill that is absolutely essential in the world we live in today. And it all comes down to this core idea: information literacy. Basically, it's about knowing when you need information, knowing how to find it, and then knowing how to use it effectively. Every single trick we're going to cover today builds on this one concept. And really mastering it? Well, that's what turns a casual surfer into a research pro. All right, let's get our hands dirty and start building that digital toolkit. These are the absolute fundamentals, the operators that are going to give you instant control over your search results. And the first, and maybe the most important tool in your new box, quotation marks. See, when you put your search term in quotes, you're basically telling Google, hey, don't just show me pages with these words scattered around. I want pages with this exact phrase in this exact order. Just look at the night and day difference this one tiny change makes. On the left, searching for University of Jordan without quotes gives you this messy pile of results about all sorts of universities that just happen to be in the country of Jordan. But on the right, putting it in quotes makes your search surgically precise. You only get results for the specific school called the University of Jordan. And here's what that actually looks like on the results page. I mean, just think about all the time you'd waste scrolling through that mess on the left. Using quotes is, without a doubt, the fastest way to cut through the noise and get straight to the good stuff. So now that we know how to zero in on an exact phrase, let's learn how to kick out the things we don't want. And for that, we use the minus sign. Think of it as your way of telling the search engine, show me everything about X, but for the love of all that is holy, ignore anything that also mentions Y. This is so incredibly useful for cleaning up your search. If you're researching the Jaguar the animal and you keep getting results for the car brand, you could just search Jaguar minus car. It's just like this example here. Searching sport minus swimming filters out all that swimming-related stuff you don't care about right now. Okay, our third tool is a must-have for anything that involves numbers. Whether you're researching historical events from a certain decade or, just trying to find a phone within your budget, the double dot operator is about to become your new best friend. Here's a perfect real-world example. The search is for smartphones that cost between 100 and 250 Jordanian dinars. And would you look at that? Google shows only products that fall neatly into that price window. Now just imagine using this for your history paper, like Civil Rights Movement 1960-1965. It is a total game changer. So those little operators give you a ton of precision before you even hit enter. But what about after you get the results? Well, Google has these amazing built-in filters that let you sort everything, and honestly, most people just don't even know they're there. When you're doing university research, how recent something is can be everything, right? You might need the absolute latest study from the past year, or maybe even just the last month. Well, after you search, all you have to do is click that Tools button, and you can instantly filter your results to get the most up-to-date info out there. This one is awesome for presentations. Let's say you need a very specific kind of image. Instead of scrolling for an eternity, you can just filter by color. Need a black and white photo for that historical vibe? Or maybe an image with a specific shade of blue to match your slide deck? It's literally just a few clicks away. And you can see it right here in action. The Image Tools menu is packed with useful stuff. You can go way beyond just color. You can filter by size, type, like photos versus clip art, and this is so important for schoolwork, you can filter by usage rights to make sure you're actually allowed to use the images you find.
Okay, we've got the basic toolkit down. Now it's time to level up. For those really big, complex research papers, the ones where you're juggling a bunch of different ideas, a simple search bar just isn't going to cut it. You need the full control panel.
And that is where Google's advanced search page comes in. It basically takes all those operators we just learned and a whole lot more and puts them into a super simple, easy-to-use form. It's the secret weapon for dialing in those hyper-specific searches. Just check out this example. Let's say you need to find a PowerPoint presentation about animals, but you've got some very specific needs. It has to include dogs or cats or rabbits, but you definitely don't want anything about fish, and you need it to be a .ppt file. With advanced search, you can plug in every single one of those conditions. It is unbelievably precise. And while we're talking about power tools, let's not forget one of the most important ones for any student, Google Scholar. Just think of it like a special version of Google that cuts out all the junk, all the blogs, the shopping sites, and focuses only on high-quality academic sources. We're talking peer-reviewed papers, theses, scholarly books. For any serious research, this should be your first stop.
So at this point, you have the technical skills to find just about anything you can imagine. But that brings us to the final, and I would argue, the absolute most important step in this whole process.
See, finding information is a technical skill, but knowing if that information is credible, if it's accurate, if it's biased, that's a critical thinking skill. I mean, what's the point of finding what seems like the perfect source if that source is totally wrong?
And this really is the key takeaway. All these tools, they're just the first step. True information literacy isn't just about finding, it's about evaluating. You have to always be asking yourself, who wrote this? Why did they write it? Can I back this up with another independent source? That is how you go from just collecting facts to actually building real knowledge.
So as you go forward, just remember this. The goal is never just to get an answer. The goal is to get a reliable, trustworthy answer. The skills we covered today will help you find that needle in the haystack, but it's up to your critical mind to figure out if that needle is made of gold or lead.